Most visitors to the Himalayas stay on the well-beaten paths, places with paved roads, crowded viewpoints, and established tourist infrastructure. But if you want to find the raw, pristine core of this mountain range, you have to look past the commercial centers. You have to look here. Tucked away at the extreme northern edge of India is North Sikkim. It is an isolated geographic pocket, shielded from mass development by the sheer difficulty of reaching it. The landscape is defined by its verticality. As you move north, the elevation spikes sharply, creating a terrain of thin air and months of sub-zero temperatures. Yet this punishing landscape isn't empty. It supports a highly specialized ecosystem and a resilient indigenous culture that has figured out how to live comfortably on the edge of the habitable world. To understand how life actually functions in North Sikkim, a standard flat map won't help. We have to map this region vertically, tracking how the rules of survival change with every 1,000 feet of ascent. Our baseline is Lechung. This is a mountain village built directly into the slopes, surrounded by dense evergreen forests and massive rock walls. Before anyone pushes into the higher, uninhabitable zones, they stop here. It operates as the necessary logistical gateway, providing the last reliable human infrastructure. For centuries, the locals have maintained a culture of warm hospitality, offering a vital sanctuary for travelers bracing against the freezing winds. The climate at this specific altitude allows for a strange biological crossover. You'll find active apple orchards growing directly in the shadow of permanent snowfields. Lechung provides the necessary warmth, food, and acclimatization. It creates the biological and cultural baseline required to survive what comes next. Moving higher up the altitudinal ladder, the human settlements fade away, and we enter Yumthong Valley. During the spring melt, the harsh terrain undergoes a rapid, temporary transformation. The valley floor erupts into what locals call the Valley of Flowers, a carpet of thousands of purple blooms stretching right up to the snowline. These mid-altitude, temperate forests act as highly specialized biological havens. The flora here has adapted to short growing seasons and intense ultraviolet light. The dense canopy is home to some of the Himalayas' most elusive wildlife. Species like the red panda utilize the thick moss and dense bamboo for cover, their biology perfectly tuned to the crisp, wet air. But if you look just slightly higher, above the tree line on the steeper, drier transitional slopes, the wildlife changes entirely. Here, Himalayan blue sheep navigate loose scree and exposed rock faces to graze. However, the altitude here doesn't eliminate life. Instead, it acts as a strict evolutionary filter, forcing both plants and animals to develop highly specialized seasonal adaptations. Continuing the ascent, we hit the geographical limit for most life forms, at nearly 17,800 feet above sea level. This is Guru Dongmar Lake. The landscape is entirely dominated by geology: barren rock, permanent glaciers, and vivid blue water sitting in a freezing, oxygen-depleted basin. At this height, the atmosphere holds barely half the oxygen found at sea level. The physiological strain forces explorers to move slowly, pushing the limits of human endurance with every step. Trekking through these passes means accepting total isolation. The trails are raw dirt and loose stone, offering zero shelter from the elements. The weather patterns are inherently volatile. Clear skies can vanish in minutes as dense cloud systems rapidly obscure the peaks and drop temperatures below freezing. Up here, at this extreme height, biology loses its foothold. The environment is ruled entirely by sheer geological scale and raw weather, demanding absolute respect from anyone attempting to cross it. When we pull back and look at the entire vertical gradient of North Sikkim, we see a complete ecosystem stacked on top of itself, from warm, welcoming base valleys to hostile, frozen peaks. It challenges the comfortable way we usually experience the outdoors. Accessing the rawest forms of natural beauty means you have to leave the paved roads behind and accept the physical cost of the ascent. Those punishing geographical barriers, the severe altitude and the bitter cold, are the exact mechanisms keeping this region intact, filtering out the heavy foot traffic that erodes so many other landscapes. North Sikkim proves that isolation has a purpose. By venturing into these difficult vertical frontiers, we find a rare environment where deep silence and extreme adventure still coexist perfectly.